condo buyers, this is not a drill. Prices just went down $38,000 in 1 month. That is the biggest drop in over a decade. And with 15 months of inventory in Miami-Dade and sellers discounting more than ever, this is a full-blown buyer's market, maybe the best that we have seen in years. So if you're a buyer in this Miami-Dade condo market, you are holding all the cards, period. You got the Uno cards, you got solitaire, poker, you got all the cards for real, okay? Jake Fletcher here with the Fletcher Group at eXp Realty, your Miami real estate agent, and this is your July 2025 condo market update for Miami-Dade County. Sales, they're down, okay? Listings, they're piling up, and we just saw the largest monthly price drop in over 10 years. Let me say that again. We just saw the largest monthly price drop in over 10 years. Prices went down more in 1 month than we have ever seen in modern times, and I'm gonna walk you through it in this video today. And if you are ready to capitalize, to strike this iron while it is red hot, well, then hit that link below to book a buyer consultation with me. In the description, you have my Calendly link there. You got all my contact info, so reach out to me today so that you can make the most informed decision for yourself and for your family. Let's kick it off today with sales and average days on market. But let's talk about sales first, and then we'll get into market speed. But July of 2025, you see the green line here, just going down, baby. In July, only 945 condos sold in July. That's down 5.8% from June. Okay, so just in 1 month, down 5.8%. In 1 year, down 20.7%. Okay, year over year, that's an insane steep drop in buyer activity. Now, let's check out the days on market here. That's the blue line. They jumped up. Okay, days on market went up to 132 days. That's up 2 days from last month, but it's 26% slower than last July over Schmel. Okay, so condos, they're just sitting on the market, they're just hanging out, having a, well, I was going to say a good time, but they're not having a good time, but they're hanging out on the market. And for you as a buyer, that means that you have insane amount of room to negotiate and less pressure to compete, okay? Less people are trying to buy these condos, obviously, right? So if you're potentially looking to buy, you got to realize you got a lot of power in your hands right now, okay? This is like, you're like a super Saiyan if you're in the market right now as a condo buyer. So let's talk about inventory and active listings next. Shibbity bow. So number of active listings, that's our green line. Months of inventory is the blue line. Active listings, they dropped slightly, okay? But still really high. But active inventory dropped to 14,118, but it's still 26% higher than last year, okay? So you can see here, it's like going up the ski slope, and then now we're getting to the top. This is where you jump off the skis, and then we'll see. Is it going to be a black diamond? Is it going to be a bunny slope? We don't know. I don't know. I've never been skiing before, but we're all going to find out together on this channel. So, subscribe, smash the like button if you appreciate these granular detail videos where I painstakingly bring you information, all the data directly from the MLS. This ain't no Zillow, Redfin, BS. This is the actual data. Okay, so smash the like button. All right, now, fewer listings came on, okay, but supply is staying elevated, okay, because we see so few sales. Now, here's the kicker. We are holding steady at 15 months of inventory. Again, that's the blue line there. You see, actually, overall, the trend is up, right? So could we see 16 months of inventory, 17 months of inventory? We don't know yet, but we are going to find out. But the moral of the story is that that's not just a buyer's market. This is like full-on bargain basement territory, okay? This is like condos are at the thrift store right now, Like, you might as well, if you have a condo, you might as well bring it to the Salvation Army and put one of those like red stickers on it. There's like liquidation prices, okay? Condos are way oversupplied. You know, they're like, buyers right now can take their time, shop around, and negotiate from a real position of strength, okay? Now, of course, it totally matters, you know, what condo you're buying. You don't want to get into a situation where you have an association where they don't have reserves and they have a bunch of, you know, assessments coming on. That's why you work with somebody like myself who can help you determine that stuff. I know a lot of the condos already by heart, where I know, hey, you know, don't even think about that condo, you know, because of the association and the reserve situation or whatever might be going on. Litigation, right, is another one. But you know, it's very important to qualify each individual building, okay? But as a general whole, if you're looking for condos right now, you got a good opportunity in front of you, okay? Now, this next stat that we're going to talk about here is closed price to original price ratio, and then expired listings. So the closed price to original price ratio, all that is a average across the market of how far away sellers had to go from their original list price to actually close on the sale, to get the deal done, okay? So if it was listed for $100,000 and it sold for $90,000, that's a 90% closed price to original price ratio, okay? So let's look at how far sellers are having to bend in this market with the closed price to original price ratio. The green line there, as you can see, going into the basement, fell again to 92.8%. So what that means is that sellers are on average discounting their listings by over 7% just to get the deal done, okay? So they list it for, you know, 100,000, they're gonna have to go down to at least 93,000, probably less, just to get the deal done, okay? And we're using round numbers like that just to illustrate, obviously not a lot of condos for sale in Miami-Dade for 100,000. This ain't Kansas, okay? No offense to Kansas, you know, sure, it's great over there, but, you know, condos are expensive here. We're gonna get into the median sale price too. Now, based on this CoreLogic MLS data, this is the lowest that we have seen in at least a decade of the closed price to original price ratio. I actually tried to go back as far as I could look with the data, and it's never been lower, okay? So even expired listings, you know, the ones that don't sell, they came down slightly to 2,673, but still 14% higher than last year. So looking at the blue line there, we see last year, July, we were right schma, now we're up schma, okay? So, you know, they came down a little bit month over month. You know, we also saw active listings coming down, as you remember in the previous graph, so that could partly account for that. But that means that more homes are going stale on the market than they were last year. Again, the market is slowing down. So if you're a buyer, this is all leverage, leverage, leverage. Like when you were in elementary school and you learned about, you know, simple machines like ramps and levers. This is that. These are simple machines giving you leverage as a buyer. Probably not the greatest analogy, but you get the point, okay? Trying to have some fun here, all right, as the market is burning into oblivion. Now, new listings, excuse me, new listings in July, we're looking at the green line. Median sale price, we're looking at the blue line. This is where things get spicy, okay? This is like extra spicy, okay? Link in the bio type spicy, all right? Now, new listings in July came in at 2,409, just below June and down slightly from last year. So we're not seeing a huge rush of new condos. Maybe some sellers are holding out for rate cuts. Maybe some didn't have the equity that they expected. What do you think? Drop a comment in the comments down below. Let me know what you think. But now here's the showstopper, okay? Drum roll, please. Median sale price dropped $38,000 this month. In 1 month, from June to July. $38,000, 38 grand, 38 racks in 1 month from $445,000 in June. That's right there, okay? And then we took a black, triple, quadruple black diamond all the way down to $407,000 in July, okay? So we're gonna see what happens in August, September. We're gonna see if this is a trend, okay? Because, you know, remember from other videos that I do, we wanna see at least 3 months of something repeating itself to be able to say, okay, this is a trend. Otherwise, it may just be a one-off, okay? But, I mean, you know, we have a statistically significant enough data pool to say this is a pretty big deal, guys. This is the largest single month drop in at least 10 years. Again, I had to go back as far as the data would go, and I couldn't find any other, single month drops as big as $38,000, guys. And this brings prices to their lowest level since October of 2023. Okay, so that would have been like right here. Okay, so we're lower than that's the last time that prices were this low. Okay, was in October of 2023. So if you've been on the fence, if you've been wondering, hey, when are prices going to go down for condos? I'd love to buy a condo, but I think prices are too high. This could really be the bottom that you've been waiting for. Again, hit the link down below so we can strategize and talk about your personal situation and what makes sense for you. But this could be a signal that we're hitting or getting close to the bottom on condos. Do I think we're going to see condos, go lower? They could go a little bit lower. Do I think that condos are going to crash in Miami-Dade? I don't think that we're going to see a crash, guys. Not in condos, not in single-family homes. We could lose a little bit more ground, but overall, Miami is a very high-demand place to live, okay? So we have to keep that in mind, but use this slowdown, rather than expecting to see 40% off on condos, like somebody suggested on a video of mine, last month. Rather than expecting to see a 40% crash in condos, let's take a look at what's realistic, okay? We're not going to see a 40% crash. Even during the great financial depression of 2008, 2009, 2010, we didn't see 40% decrease in condos. They decreased a bit, but not 40%. So rather than expecting something unrealistic, let's use this momentum to our advantage to negotiate the hell out of these list prices, okay? So what are we seeing? What we're seeing is that sales are down, condos are sitting longer, sellers are discounting harder than they have in over a decade, and with a $38,000 price drop in just 30 days, we could see a little bit more ground, or maybe a lot more ground receded. Who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we do see a 40%, crash. That would be incredible. I would actually like that because, then I can go buy more condos, and, investors that I work with can go buy more condos. First-time home buyers will be priced back into the market because let's not forget, that was one of the points of the Fed raising interest rates was to reset the real estate market, which we have not seen in Miami any type of reset. We've seen a slight correction. We've seen a slowdown. We've seen that close price to original price ratio cratering into the basement. Is it all a prelude to a momentous storm to come, or is it a more of a trickling down and slowing down of the market where smart buyers can strike and take advantage of the slowdown before a September rate cut comes and we start to see prices go back up? That is what I think is a little more likely. You got to keep in mind the full picture, okay? If rates start to go back down, then we're going to see a lot more buyers coming into the market, okay? So this could be the time to strike, okay? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. But I think that this is what a power shift looks like, okay? And for buyers, this is your chance to buy smart, buy low, and negotiate hard, especially with somebody who knows the data like I do. We come in there with the facts, we come in there with the charts and the graphs and all the data and, present a case to the seller that like, listen, you don't want to catch a falling knife here, right? So you might as well sell at the price that it's worth, right? That we say it's worth, right? And that's at least a summary of the strategy. Okay, there's more that goes into it, but this is the time to negotiate hard. Is the point. If you're ready to get serious about buying a condo in Miami-Dade, let's build your plan together. It's never too early to plan, okay? It doesn't cost you a dime. You just hit the link in the description down below, book your one-on-one buyer consultation with me on my Calendly, or you can text me, email me, whatever you guys want to do, and we will set you up for success. Jake Fletcher here with the Fletcher Group at eXp Realty, your Miami real estate agent, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.